Welcome to Behind the Craft. Today, I thought maybe I forgot to record something. Today, okay, I'm start over. Coming up on Behind the Craft.
Sometimes I think it's really easy for designers to just be like, I'm gonna make this fucking really cool. The design is gonna be like crazy and new and it's gonna be unique. But the end result is for a customer base. And speaking about the website specifically, they're going there for a reason.
Right.
So just making sure that you have those in mind while you're designing, that's actually the whole goal.
Welcome to Behind the Craft. Today, I am joined by Jess Miracle. Jessie is a multiple award-winning designer and web designer and human being. That's what she's won the most awards for, is her human beingness.
I'm pretty good at being a human.
Yeah, nailed it, really. I'd say if I were to define you, you qualify.
As a human?
As a human,
Well,
yeah.
you know what? That's like the first time anyone said that, so.
Jessie's official title is Web Director at Brandcraft, which is a brand agency that provides business owners with strategies to own their next chapter. So, Jess, first of all, welcome from one human to another.
Oh, you're a human too.
I'm offended. Welcome to the show. So today we're going to talk about Perch Cantina. So I guess if you want to start off, just tell everybody a little bit about who is Perch Cantina and how did this work come about for us?
Perch Cantina is a restaurant. I don't really know how to describe their food. It's like Mexican inspired.
Mm-hmm.
They just opened last year. We were part of their whole launch process. We did their branding earlier. I wasn't involved so much in the branding part, but getting the website designed and launched and all of the marketing materials for them so that they could launch with everything all set. So that's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you also worked on, you were involved in doing the menus for them. We had a little bit of say with our brand, kind of
That's
influenced
right.
even a lot of what they did in terms of the design inside the restaurant. So, and this restaurant is right across the street from our office, so we've been a few times as an office since it opened as well. So
Pretty
cool
good,
project.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
It is pretty good. I think it's good too. It's Latin inspired. It is hard to explain. It's hard to explain the flavors.
Yeah, not your classic Americanized Mexican restaurant, but definitely. Yeah, I don't want to say like it's a twist because I'm not.
Yeah, it's like an elevated, Latin-inspired, Americanized Mexican restaurant. Yeah, it's a very cool vibe. So you mentioned we worked on the brand for this client. How did the crafting of their brand help lay the foundation for what you ended up doing on the design of this website?
I mean, I just had a lot of guidelines to build in. Their brand, the brand guide that we put together for them was relatively simple, so it was still pretty open-ended. But their building is really unique looking. They had it all like customized, and it just looks like a really cool space. Even if you cut out the food, like it's just a really cool space. Very open, including like they've got big windows that open out to the patio on the outside where they've got like a bar that they can serve inside the building, can serve outside of the building.
Yeah.
So we wanted to just make sure that we showcased a more open, unique feel on the website as well. And all of the brand elements, just like it's just easy to grab the things that are already established for the brand and put them in a new medium so that it works for that intended goal. So like the bright colors and the really contrasting colors and the fonts and their cactus iconography.
Yeah.
It was all I had all of the puzzle pieces, so all I needed to do was build the puzzle.
Yeah, I really like just the focus on the content here and the messaging that's on the website. Like we said, it's hard to explain what it is, and like right here in the hero, it's unearthed tastes, a welcome and welcoming difference. So you just kind of get a vibe for like personality for who this. You kind of get an expectation of like, okay, this is not. It's kind of hard to explain. It's a difference. It's gonna be a different experience.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
You feel the difference in the vibe and in the taste.
Definitely. So yeah, something that stands out to me you talked about is the color. It's like how important is that how important is it to use restraint when it comes to having a bright color like that on a website, though?
It really depends. Like, there's honestly no like rules when it comes to design, because even when like if you're going through school and they like say, here are the rules of graphic design, you're just like, okay, cool. But then you look at really like popular brands and you're like, they're breaking a lot of those rules.
That's right.
But you just have to be intentional about rule breaking. So because you don't just break them just because you want to. You break them for a specific reason.
Right.
Although there are certain things, like any kind of accessibility, like that's important to always be considerate of. So restraint with colors as bright as Purge Cantina's pink. With what we were going for this, it was more of a spot color. Like we didn't want to overwhelm people with it. It wasn't supposed to be like super like wow in your face. It was supposed to be more like, this isn't like your average, like, you know, most restaurants use like more warm colors like oranges and yellows. And with the other two colors just being white and black, pink was mostly used as a direction color to like guide people through where you want them to highlight important information or like button links and stuff like that. Yeah, it really depends. It's a case by case basis, and in this case we didn't want to go too heavy with it, but we still wanted to utilize it a lot to give it like, because since the other colors were just white and black, it gave the whole design kind of a fresh feel.
Yeah.
And it's complementary to the green of the cactuses that are used.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, actually. I was like, what I think is really cool is it really reflects the atmosphere in the restaurant, too, because that pink is kind of used as a spot color inside the restaurant. Like, it's just done on, like, piping and things like that in the bar area, and that's kind of it.
The restroom doors.
Yeah, the restroom doors. So it's just like it just pops, but the rest of the restaurant is very earthy with the greens and the cactuses, and it just kind of feels very organic, and then all of a sudden you have this pop of pink. So it's really cool. It gives it, again, a lot of personality to the website. So something I've heard you talk about a lot, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on this, is that you talk a lot about our design process when it comes to web being with a focus on UX and user experience. Can you explain what you mean by that, and then why is it so important for the outcome of our projects on the web?
Yeah, I really like making super creative and fancy things, and sometimes I think it's really easy for designers to just be like, I'm gonna make this fucking really cool, it's gonna be super awesome, it's gonna be like, the design is gonna be like crazy and new, and it's gonna be unique, but like that's what the designer wants. Right. But the end result is for a customer base, and they're going, speaking about the website specifically, they're going there for a reason. Right. For restaurants, it's generally like see what their what their opening hours are. Look at their menu, which is probably the most important one. Figure out like, what's it called when big parties go? Yeah, reservations. Yeah. Figure out how to make reservations and stuff. Those were the key things, other than kind of helping sell the experience of the whole site or the whole restaurant. So those are the things that I had to design around. Making sure that those things are easy to find, they're easy to navigate through. People don't like look at it and get like bombarded with too much information that makes them confused on like what they need to do next or where they need to go. Those are all the things that, like you said at the beginning of the project, and you're like, these are what the goals are for what the clients are going to be using the site for. Right. So just making sure that you have those in mind while you're designing, so that way you don't bury them, because that's actually the whole goal of the whole project, is you want people to be able to achieve their end goal. Were there any like unique challenges about this project specifically? Like when you think about this type of client being a restaurant versus like most of our clients are in the professional services space, is there anything unique about taking that approach versus designing for web for professional services? I don't know if I would say challenges. I mean, I feel like everything that we do is just kind of solving problems. So I don't think that there was anything like uniquely challenging. It's just different goals. For restaurants, like I said, you're making it for more of an end user. Like the client is just a conduit to their user base who they want to attract to come to their restaurant.
True.
So the goal of the website is just, getting that information to people, but also helping to sell the experience, whereas the stuff that we usually do is mostly selling the experience or the product itself.
Mm-hmm.
So they're always like in the same vein, but they're not just, they kind of like branch off at some point and go down different routes for the end goal. But honestly, I don't think that they really differ all that much, because at the end of the day, like, I keep saying it, you're selling the experience and you're making it so that people can find what they're looking for easily.
Yeah, maybe from an SEO standpoint, it's a little bit different, though, because I do think that people who are going to a restaurant website are a little bit more educated on, they're going for a specific reason, they're looking for this website probably specifically.
Yeah, it's more like a proof of life, and here's some information about just what you can find there.
Yeah.
While the other ones are like, this is now a marketing sales tool.
Yeah, it's more convincing you to buy, and why you should buy from them.
Mm-hmm. But design-wise, they don't, at least in my opinion, I don't approach them all that differently.
Cool. What are you most proud of about this site or working with this client as a whole?
Proud, I think the whole thing's pretty cool. Just the whole experience, like most of the stuff we do we don't get to be really, I don't want to say out there, but most of the designs are very like structured, and you don't get to do a lot of like splashes of pink, for example.
Right.
I think this is only the second client ever that I've designed with pink. And then I love plants in general, so being able to find cool pictures of cactuses and add that as like the sole photography on the site was really cool. Yeah, it was just fun. It was just a fun theme. It was just fun colors, fun brand. And then we got to eat at the restaurant a lot too, so that was really cool.
It was, yeah. You got to get a vibe for these tastes. You can't really design a site until you've tasted it, You got to really know what we're promoting.
But only if it's food related.
Yeah, exactly. But that's our priority here. So we want to get really immersed in food before we can design.
It was also just really cool because a lot of clients come to us when they're already like established, but like Perch Cantina was brand new and they were still building. Like we got to go and tour while it was still being built, which it was just really cool to be a part of, like bringing something to life.
Yeah.
As like a whole team, like a lot of people in our company worked on it, but we also got to work with the people who owned Perch as well. So it was just a really cool experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. For everyone listening or watching, if you want to check out the website is perchcantina.com. And if you live in Eastern Washington and you want to just understand what we mean by a different flavor, go check it out. Get yourself a reservation or just stop in and see if you can get a table at Perch.
And get the guacamole with the pomegranates.
Yes. Get the guacamole with pomegranates. Get everything. Get the ceviche. Just go to town. Well, thanks very much, Jess.
Thank you, Aaron.
Bye.